Imagine a planet of little TJ lasers, all highly skilled in weapons and biotic tactics, with me as absolute ruler. If you don't want to be a part of this incredible vision, then you can get a space taxi back to Planet Idiot.
I'm TJ Laser, expert with lasers and phasers. Death to the alien scourge.
Where are we?
Lasers and phasers. Lasers and phasers.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
Good evening, quizzers! How's it all going? Welcome to Big Nerd Pub Quiz Part 7. This is the 7th Big Nerd Pub Quiz, or the 8th if you include the kids one, but this is the 7th Big Nerd Pub Quiz that we're doing, coming to you live from my bedroom here in Westraver, County Down. I'm Mark Hughes, and you're very, very welcome to Big Nerd Pub Quiz. A big hello to all the followers out there if you're joining us again, and hello and welcome to all the new guys who found out about the quiz through Facebook, all the social media channels. How's your weekend going? How's your Easter weekend getting on? What a day it's been. The weather's absolutely amazing, I have to say. It's incredible. Like, I hardly could do any work today prepping the quiz. It was so sunny outside, and I have to say it was absolutely amazing weather. Like, I did get out for my state sanctioned walk at one point today, so I'm happy about that. But yes, dedicated to the quiz, stuck inside all day trying to get this happening. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, I got so many shout outs again this week. Loads and loads and loads and loads of shout outs. We will try to get to you at some point. If you tip for the future, if you really, really want to shout out, make sure you get it in beforehand. But yeah, we've got tons of people listening in. I want to say a big thank you to everybody, because I looked at the viewing figures, and last Wednesday's quiz got a whopping 16,000 viewers. Like, that's absolutely amazing. And a huge thank you to all the Patreons and all the guys who've donated via PayPal. Your contribution to the quiz has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. If this is your first time to Big Nerd Pub Quiz, like I said, you're very welcome. Here's how to play. So, first things first, go to Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Obviously you're here. Click on the Google link in the description below. So give yourself a couple of minutes to find the Google link. Basically, all you need to do is enter your email and answer the multiple choice questions as they are asked by myself live on the show. So once the quiz is finished at the very end, submit your answers before the host calls time. That's me, of course. And that's it, basically. Wait until afterwards, and I'll be able to give you the actual the answers, of course, and you'll get your score automatically. But yeah, do stick around and see where you went right and where you went wrong, of course. We recommend that you stream your quiz on a laptop or a television whilst using your phone to answer the questions. You can play as a team, or you can play individually. And like I said, here's a challenge to anyone if you can do it. See if you can play the quiz analog, pen and paper, proper old school, and see if you can do it without the multiple choice questions. Be interesting to see what would happen there. Don't forget to use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz on all the social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course we're on YouTube. Some big news coming up. We've set a date for the Game of Thrones quiz. That's Monday, the 27th of April at 8 p.m. It's the Game of Thrones quiz, courtesy of my friend Sasha, who's helped me to write it, of course. And we've got the Star Wars quiz coming up on May the 4th, 2020. I know thousands of people have registered interest for that online, and I can't wait to do it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Star Trek quiz, of course, is this Monday, the 13th of April, 2020. Don't forget about that, of course. And the Big Nerd Kids Quiz is on every Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's every Tuesday at 2 p.m. So if you know any teachers or know anyone who's, you've got kids yourself and you're looking for a bit of entertainment for an hour or so, by all means, tune in at 2 p.m. every Tuesday for some really cool kids-based questions. First things first, our new sponsor. If you win tonight's quiz, you win a 6-pack of Enerzaid, classic sparkling glucose energy drink. It's fantastic stuff. So use the promo BigNerdQuiz for a 25% discount. And of course, you can win this very snazzy Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt. Check out the merch. Go to northernertees.com. We've got an official range of merchandise out right now. We're actually sold quite a lot, which is amazing considering that we only just launched them there on Wednesday, and yeah, the people have been buying them, which is I'm absolutely amazed. Given that I only came up with this idea a couple of weeks ago to do this, and like I said, I've been learning and doing all bits and bobs to make the quiz better and make it sound cooler. But like I said, check it out. You can win this t-shirt. Well, not this t-shirt per se, because I've been wearing it, but a t-shirt very like this from more sponsors. Northern Iron Tees, check them out. Okay, first things first, before we begin, I want to say a big shout out to my friend Tommy McGuire, because I don't know whether you've noticed or not. Tommy's added something to the quiz, which I think has just made it that little bit cooler. You'll see it right now when we get kicked off here. The Big Nerd Pub Quiz, round 1. Check this out. Oh yeah, the general knowledge round. Check those graphics. It's like something out of Sky Sports. I love it. Okay, today's general knowledge round. It's basically, like I said before, the quiz is 8 rounds, 6 questions each. General knowledge. I'm going to try to make the general knowledge about something that's happening in the world right now. So keep an eye on if you're playing in future, do keep an eye on your newspapers. And I'll try to avoid all the corona stuff. Well, don't even say it, but you know the crisis, the event. We're here to take your mind off this for like the next hour. I know it's tough, but the weather's been fantastic. As long as we stay safe, we can protect the NHS and support our workers and everything in what they're doing. But here we go. Let's get kicked off with Big Nerd Pub Quiz 7 here on the 11th of April 2020. Here's question number 1. So round 1, question number 1. In which country was this year's Eurovision Song Contest meant to have been held? It's a massive disappointment there that the Big Nerd, not the Big Nerd Pub Quiz, but the Eurovision Song Contest, which I know so many of my buddies in London, we love it, we play it, we watch it every year. But the big Eurovision Song Contest, of course, not taking part. But where should it have taken part this year? In which country? Not the city. Which country? Round 1, question 2. The Prime Minister of New Zealand reassured children in a press briefing that the Easter Bunny was considered a frontline worker. What is the New Zealand Prime Minister's name? So, the New Zealand Prime Minister, she reassured, I've just spelt that wrong actually, so reassured, there we go. So the Prime Minister of New Zealand reassured children in a press briefing that the Easter Bunny was considered a frontline worker. What is the New Zealand Prime Minister's name? Okay, round 1, question 3. Which US television show ended on Wednesday night after 250 episodes across 11 series? Very popular program, this. So round 1, question 3. Which US TV show played its last episode on Wednesday night after 250 episodes across 11 series? Just put my phone over here. Okay, round 1, question 4. A very religious question for this, a very holy week, of course. But which day of Holy Week derives from the Latin word mandatum, reflecting Jesus' words, I give you a new commandment? So round 1, question 4. Very appropriate for this week, of course. It is Easter weekend. So which day of Holy Week derives from the Latin word mandatum, reflecting Jesus' words, I give you a new commandment? I'll give you a clue. It refers to the giving of alms or the washing of feet. It's a charitable day, okay? And speaking of charities, the guys at Newbold RFC, my buddy Stephen Nolan just texted me, not the Stephen Nolan, but another Stephen Nolan. Newbold RFC Rugby Club have raised over 22k with their head shave drive. £22,000, that's amazing. But check them out, Newbold RFC. Look them up on Facebook and do give generously. It's a worthy cause. It's going to all our NHS workers. And the next question, round 1, question 5. Which royal couple celebrated their wedding anniversary there on the 9th of April? So think back to your royal weddings the last couple of years. Which royal couple celebrated their wedding anniversary there on the 9th of April? Awfully big house, that. And our final question of round 1. Very sad news, this, of course, but Bill Withers passed away last week. But on which track did he famously sing and hold the last note for 18 seconds in 1977? Very, very famous track, if you know your Bill Withers. So he passed, Bill Withers, of course, round 1, question 6, passed away last week. And on which track did he famously sing and hold the last note for 18 seconds in 1977? Okay, and here's your round 1 roundup. So, question 1, where was the Eurovision Song Contest meant to be held this year? Number 2, the name of the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Number 3, which US TV show ended on Wednesday night there? Number 4, which day of Holy Week is mandatum, is the Latin word mandatum reflecting Jesus' words, I give you a new commandment. So which day is that? Number 5, which royal couple celebrated their wedding anniversary there on the 9th of April? And number 6, Bill Withers passed away last week. On which track did he famously sing and hold the last note for 18 seconds in 1977? I love these graphics. They're fantastic. Okay, quick time for a couple of shout-outs here. They're flying up and down my screen, but do get them in early. Big shout-out to Rosling de Koing in Switzerland. Amazing. Nicole Richter in Graz in Austria, of course. The Cullen family in Belfast. That's Matt, Claire and Jerry, of course. Shout-out to my London crew who are always watching. I can't name you all this time. There's so many. And happy birthday to Chris Wright for tomorrow, and happy anniversary for Monday from Melissa. Cheers, Melissa. Good to hear from you. Shout out to Rebecca Kowalski, and happy 9th anniversary to Graham from his wife, Michelle. Happy days. We'll get back to all those and try to get as many shout outs done in the next couple of hours or so. My mom's just texting me here. She says we might bring on the dog. We might bring on the dog halfway through the show. So, Mom, if you're watching downstairs, bring up the dog in about... We have to introduce the dog. It's been asked for. Okay, we're gonna keep plowing on. We're gonna move on to round 2. And no movie round this week. We're doing a television round. So round 2 is TV. So all these questions in related to well-known and popular television shows from America and the UK. Here we go. Round 2, question 1. So, round 2, question 1. Who won the first ever UK X Factor? Round 2, question 1. Who won the very first ever UK X Factor? Shout out to Liam and Alice there. I know you're watching. So, round 2, question 2. What UK comedy programme running from 2003 until 2015 was the longest running comedy on Channel 4 history in terms of years on the air? So, round 2, question 2. What UK comedy programme running from 2003 until 2015 was the longest running comedy on Channel 4 in terms of years on the air? Okay. Round 2, question 4. Did we skip one there? Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Go back, sorry. Skipped over one. So round 2, question 3. Which American TV show holds the record for being the most watched finale of any television series? Now, you're going to see a list of some very well-known TV shows. All of them in their own right were really highly watched TV shows in America, excluding the Super Bowl, of course, and excluding presidential elections. But yeah, of course, the Super Bowl being the most watched TV show. But what American TV show holds the record for being the most watched finale of any television series? I'll give you a clue. It was a comedy, but it might not be the one you're thinking about. It might be a little bit older. Okay, here's round 2, question 4. Ramsay Street, the fictional cul-de-sac and home of the character of the Australian soap Neighbours, is located in a suburb of which city? So which Aussie city is Neighbours set in? Round 2, question 4. Ramsay Street, the fictional cul-de-sac and home of the characters of the Australian soap Neighbours, is located in a suburb of which city? I used to love Neighbours, and I remember I used to show it like twice a week on BBC. And you'd come home from school and you'd watch Neighbours and then The Simpsons afterwards. Oh, those were the days. Round 2, question 5. All my Irish friends who've been begging me to do a Father Ted quiz will want this. So according to Father Ted, on what day did the Ice Age end, Galway was liberated from the Indians, and Marathon changed to Snickers? I'll give you a clue. It's a summary date. So that might exclude a couple of the ones in there. But yes, according to Father Ted, on what day did the Ice Age end, Galway liberated from the Indians, and Marathon changed to Snickers? I know John Rafferty will get that one. Massive Father Ted fan. And here's a really tricky one. I know loads of you out there love The In-Betweeners. But in the TV show The In-Betweeners, what school did Simon, Neil, Jay, and Will attend? I know a lot of you there are going to go, oh, this is going to be nuts. But round 2, question 6. In the television show The In-Betweeners, what school did Simon, Neil, Jay, and Will attend? I need the name of the school. It's a tricky one, but if you know your In-Betweeners, you'll know it. And here's your round 2 roundup. So, question 1, who won the first ever X Factor? Question 2, which UK comedy programme was the longest running comedy series on Channel 4 history? Number 3, which American TV show holds the record for being the most watched finale of any television series according to the Nielsen ratings? And I've double checked that. Number 4, Ramsay Street is set in which city? Neighbours is set in which city, of course. Number 5, according to Father Ted, when did the Ice Age end? Galway liberated from the Indians, and Marathon changed to Snickers. And in the television show The In-Betweeners, what school did Neil, Simon, Jay, and Will attend? Okay, some more shout-outs here. A massive shout-out to my friend Emma D'Souza, who's watching. Big hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. Ryan Major in Drumore. Another shout-out to the Curry Club. That's Amanda. Kingsley Smith. So it's Mark, Amanda, and the Lemons, and Lisa on Morrow. Connor and Megan in Belfast. They run the Eat Out Belfast blog. And I want to send a massive get well soon to my buddy Jez in London. Jez and Mary have been making this fantastic podcast, as you know, and they've been playing along with the quiz. Jez hasn't been feeling well recently, and I really want to send out a massive get well soon to him and to everyone who's obviously feeling a little bit under the weather, of course. Hope this quiz can get you through it for an hour or so. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All the social media there, the YouTube and the Instagram, the Facebook and the Twitter, of course. Here's your next round. Here's your music round. Okay, so much like last week with the emojis, we have a specially themed music round, not just going to be random questions. Today's music round question is going to be, the base music round question is going to basically be centering around lyrics. All I'm looking is for the song title, not the band. Of course, you will see a list of songs by the band, and you'll probably work out who it is from there. It's fairly simple. And we'll go straight right into it. Round 3, question 1. So here we go. Question 1. She keeps her Moet Chandon in her pretty cabinet. Let them make cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. So that's round 3, question 1. She keeps her Moet Chandon in her pretty cabinet. Let them make cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. You're probably singing along to this, and you're probably like, oh, yeah, I know this. Very, very simple. Next one. Round 3, question 2. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is one knife. So round 3, question 2. I almost give it away there. I almost like, oh, listen that, Anyway, round 3, question 2. Big hit in the 90s. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. Okay? Getting inundated here. More shout-outs, of course. Zoe Boyd playing 9-year-old playing in Comer. Her family just sent that in. Jenny and Marcus in Ballygowan and the daughter Lisa playing on Zoom with the Walkers. And tell Team Briefcase from Chris and Jane in Nottingham. Is that? And of course Scott Perry's tuned in tonight as well. Good to hear from you, man. Round 3, question 3. That's hit ice cold. Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. Quite cryptic, that. Round 3, question 3. That's it. That ice cold Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. Sure you'll all get that. Sure you've all danced to that at a wedding or two. Round 3, question 4. Got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man and I just can't lose. So round 3, question 4. Got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man and I just can't lose. I'm pretty sure that the... again, you'll work this out. There's a list of songs there. You'll go, oh yeah, I know the band. You'll just have to work out the song. It's very, very simple. Round 3, question 5. Well, I hear you went up to Saratoga and your horse naturally won. Round 3, question 5. I hear you went up to Saratoga and your horse naturally won. A big shout out to my buddies who should know that from the Ukulele Jam, the Belfast Ukulele Jam and the Ukulele Wednesdays ukulele set. We play this song quite a lot. You'll totally know this if you're one of the guys who play in the jam there in Belfast or in London. And of course, this next one is a classic one for us as too. Round 3, question 6. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again. So that's round 3, question 6. Very famous song. You can have your choice of men, but I could never love again. Famously covered by the White Stripes in their 2003 Live at Blackpool Towers. Fantastic tune. Quick roundup again, we'll run back through them. Round 3, question 1. She keeps her Moe Chandon in her pretty cabinet. Let them eat cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife, is that question 2, round 3. Question 3 of round 3. That hit that ice cold. Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. Round 3, question 4. Got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man and I just can't lose. Round 3, question 5. Well, here you went up to Saratoga and your horse naturally won. And round 3, question 6. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again. That's our music round for this Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Hope you've enjoyed that one. Hopefully easy enough. Again, getting flooded with messages here. Quickly have a quick out of William, Lindsay, and Robin, Ian, and Luca. That's from Lee Hutchinson, buddy of mine, of course, and Ross, Newport, to all the Scousers, Lynn and Big Al in Portadown. I'll try to keep up. With the rest of these at halftime. We'll see if we can get them. Moving swiftly on, round 4 is, of course, as always, our history and politics round. So when I was actually putting this history and politics round together, one of the handy things I can use is actually look up, historical events that happened on this day and actually try to work out some questions from that. So the majority of the questions actually took place on this day X amount of years ago. So here we go. Round 4, question 1. It's a space question, of course. There's always going to be a space question, because it's me and it's my quiz. But which famous space mission to the moon was launched on this day 50 years ago? The astronauts had to abort after 3 days because of a fault. So round 4, question 1. Which famous space mission to the moon was launched on this day 50 years ago? The astronauts had to abort after 3 days because of a fault. Sarah and Tom over in Wolverhampton. I know you're big space fans. Well, I know Sarah is. But she'll totally get that one. So round 4, question 2. Another anniversary. Which company released its Mark I computer on this day 44 years ago? So which company released its Mark I computer on this day 44 years ago? Johnny Smith wants a shout out to the Smith family. Where are you guys playing? This Facebook message is really slow and it slows down my computer a bit. And Carrick Fergus, we're all doing the quiz at the Wicked Jojo Arms home bar. Class. Good to hear that. Round 4, question 3. What is the name of the infamous Ugandan dictator deposed on this day in 1979? He was subject of the film The Last King of Scotland. There he is there, being played by Forrest Whitaker. Jamie McAvoy, of course, in the movie as well. But what was the name of the infamous Ugandan dictator deposed on this day in 1979? He was the subject of the film The Last King of Scotland. Round 4, question 4. This former Belgian Prime Minister turned 67 today, and although you may know him as the EU's chief Brexit negotiator, what's his name? Remember Brexit? Remember that was a thing? No, it's not. I think I got too much when I wished for. I was like, I wish Brexit would go away, but yeah, it has. But round 4, question 4. This former Belgian PM turned 67 today, and although you may know him as the EU chief Brexit negotiator, what's his name? Round 4, question 5. Where did Abraham Lincoln give his famous 77 years speech in 1863? It was the site of a decisive battle some 4 months previously. So round 4, question 5. Where did Abraham Lincoln give his famous 77 years speech in 1863? It was the site of a decisive battle some 4 months previously. The actor Daniel Day-Lewis, of course, famously played Abraham Lincoln in the eponymous movie by Steven Spielberg a couple of years ago. He time-traveled back to Victorian America during Civil War era America, and he coached Abraham Lincoln how to do the speech. We shout out to Imelda, Andrew, Sarah, Ben, and Catherine in Hollywood, County Down, Jim in Essex, and Finbar in Tiffcrum, County Armagh. Good to hear from you guys. And round 4, question 6. Which year was Hong Kong handed back to China, ending 156 years of British control in the area? So, round 4, question 6. Which year was Hong Kong handed back to China, ending 156 years of British control of the area? And there's your round 4 roundup. So which famous space mission was launched to the moon 50 years ago? The astronauts had to abort it after 3 days because of a fault. Number 2. Which company released its Mark I computer on this day 44 years ago? Number 3. What was the name of the infamous Ugandan dictator deposed on this day in 1979? The EU chief Brexit negotiator. He's the former Belgian Prime Minister. He turned 67 today. Happy birthday if you're watching. What's his name? I doubt it though. You never know. 5. Where did Abraham Lincoln give his famous 77 years speech in 1863? And number 6. Which year was Hong Kong handed back to China by the British? And that's your round 4. I think we got a visitor here. Come on in. I think my mum here wants to introduce everybody to a certain little dog. This is my dog, Molly. We were going to have her on the show earlier on. Oh, you're actually going to leave me here with her. No, don't actually leave me. And this is my mum. Everyone say hello, mum. This is my mum who's obviously watches every night. But this is Molly. This is my Shih Tzu Molly. She's our family baby, and she's been keeping us very, very happy when she's been here looking after us all, of course. And she's going to give a big round of applause to the NHS. Give a round of applause to all the key workers out there. No, yay! But this is Molly saying hello to everybody. And yeah, she keeps us very, very happy. Mum, do you want to take her back? There we go. Thanks, Mum. Anyway, so there's the dog. Yeah, we'll do a couple of shout outs here while we're here. Diane Lemon, of course, the Lemons and Newtonards. Stella Whiteleaf, of course. Shauna McGee, shout out to Patty, Kate, and the Lemons and Newtonards, of course. Let's see. Whoa. Shauna McGee wants a shout out to. It's taking ages to load these up. Paddy, Patrick, Kate, and Shauna Boyle in West Belfast. Martin Jenkins, very slick quiz. Thank you very much, of course. Rachel Cray, give a shout out to all the Cray family playing in Temple, Carridoff, and Finnegy and Dromore. Good to hear from you guys. Like I said, do challenge yourselves. If you can play this quiz analog without the multiple choice, I'll be very, very impressed. Harold Newport says he's playing right now. Yeah, shout out to my 99-year-old Nanny Meredith. Love the show. Cheers, Harold. That's amazing. That's a fantastic age. Elaine Duncan says shout out to the Duncans and Allens and the lovely Lorna, all playing in South Lanarkshire, Glasgow, North Lanarkshire, and they're playing against each other. That's amazing. Josh Jones wants a shout out. Hello, man. Playing with his mum, his dad, and his sister. And just trying to get as many of these done as I can. Shout out to Chris and Wendy living it up in Swindon, taking part in every quiz, originally from Northern Ireland. So please shout out to all our family friends back at home, of course. Speaking of home, we're giving away some Northern Ireland tees, t-shirts, where this is the official Northern Ireland Tees t-shirt. Yes, you can win this tonight, courtesy of Northern Ireland Tees. And if you like the stuff on their site, give it a check. It is absolutely amazing. Some very, very funny t-shirts there. Go to northernirelandtees.com. Use the discount code BIGQUIZ for 10% off. Also, plugging Enerzaid, our new sponsor, where you can win a 6-pack of Enerzaid, a glucose drink, recreating those classic flavors. Another local company. Do support them. Big Nerd Quiz for a 25% discount from enerzaid.co.uk. And of course, thank you so much to all my PayPals and all my Patreons. If you like the quiz, this quiz is always going to be free to play. But if you like the quiz and you like what we're doing, feel free to donate to my PayPal or donate to my Patreon. If you, the price of a pint or the price of a cup of coffee, it really means a lot to me. It means I'm putting it all back into the quiz, of course, and I'm making all the improving the equipment, making the quiz slicker. And cheers, Tommy, for all the cool graphics, of course. Star Wars quiz, of course, on May the 4th. Game of Thrones quiz on the 27th of April. And of course, our next Star Trek quiz, our first Star Trek quiz, is going to be our first specialty one. That's going to be the next one on 2 days' time on the 13th of April at 2000 hours. All my big Trekkie buddies, they're going to be tuned into that. And don't forget, the kids quiz we're going to do at 2 o'clock. So if you know any teachers, or if you know anyone, if you got kids of your own, you want to entertain them for like an hour or so, Big Nerd Kids quiz is going to be on at 2 o'clock. Every Tuesday, of course. And one more thing before we move on to the next one. Here's your analytics from the last Big Nerd Pub Quiz on the 8th of April there on Wednesday. You all did very, very well. As you can see, the analytics are getting better. Also, like everybody's actually seemed to scoring well. All the way, the medium range there was about 35 out of 48. Just to let you know, the top scorer, there was 12 people who got the top score, and the winner is Captain_Lucy. Captain_Lucy. I've sent you an email. Do shout back to me, ping back to me, and we can get those 6-pack of Enerzaid out to you and the t-shirt. Anyway, enough of my yammering. Here we go. Let's head on to the sports round. Round 5. The sports round. I know people have a love-hate with this, but, I try to make them as accessible as we can. Here we go. So, round 5, question 1. Which English football team is nicknamed the Posh? So round 5, question 1. Which English football team is nicknamed the Posh? Round 5, question 2. The USA ice hockey team victory over the Soviet Union in the 1980 Winter Olympics was known by what moniker? So the USA ice hockey team victory over the Soviet Union in the 1980 Winter Olympics was known by what moniker? Andy Morgan is playing in South London. Hello. Say hello to Louis, playing all the way in the Doghouse in Belfast. His brother's company is sponsoring the show, by the way. Ah, yes. Good man. Thank you. So round 5, question 3. How long is an Olympic swimming pool? How long is an Olympic swimming pool? That's round 5, question 3. Happy 30th birthday to, this is from Connor, to his sister Nessa, who'll be 30 tomorrow. A nurse, so we all can't share it with her, but once we can, happy birthday. So that's from Connor, Laura, Riley, Mum and Dad. That's Nessa Mullen here, but well done. Keep up the good work. Round 5, question 4. This one's for Phil and Kane. I know you guys love your F1. But how many times did Michael Schumacher win the F1 championship? He currently holds the record for the most number of wins. So round 5, question 4. How many times did Michael Schumacher win the F1 championship? He currently holds the record for the most number of wins. A couple of options there in front of you. Lisa Plunkett says, Ella says, Happy Easter. Fair play. Round 5, question 5. What colour is traditionally worn by Italian sports teams, including their football and rugby teams, earning them the nickname the Azzurri? The Azzurri. If you have a little bit of Italian, you'll get that. So, round 5, question 5. The colour traditionally worn by Italian sports teams, including their football and rugby squads, it gives them the nickname the Azzurri. But what colour is that? Just all you have to do is just picture some classic Italian sports moments, Pirlo, Baggio, And round 5, question 6. Which royal won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year in 1971 for eventing? Shauna McKendry's just asked, what about a Harry Potter quiz? That is definitely going to happen. We just got to sort that out. Declan, big shout out to him in Jersey. I'm not going to read out your weird fake texts. Anyway, round 5, question 6. Which royal won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year in 1971 for eventing? And it has to be the ugliest trophy ever. Like, come on. Think of something better than that. Here's the round 5 roundup. Okay, number 1, round 5. What English football team is nicknamed the Posh? Number 2, the USA ice hockey victory over the Soviet Union in the Winter Olympics was known by what moniker? Number 3, how long is an Olympic swimming pool? Number 4, how many times did Michael Schumacher win the F1 championship? He currently holds the record for the most number of wins. Number 5, the colour traditionally worn by Italian sports teams. And number 6, which royal won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year in 1971 for eventing? Okay, that's round 5 over. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think we were pushing near 3,000 likes there. But yeah, if you're enjoying the quiz and you really want to, by all means, share it with your friends, share it with your family. I'm loving seeing all the feedback. I'm loving seeing people saying to me they've made this a part of their routine and part of their every week. And I'm glad to do it. I'm really, really happy to do it. As you guys keep... if you guys want the quizzes, I'll keep making them. And like I said, don't forget to support me on PayPal and Patreon. Like I said, all the money goes back into me building and making this quiz better, of course. Here we go. Round 6. Geography. Yep, just another bog standard geography round. This one, nothing too special. Here we go. Let's just kick off. So, round 6, question 1. What was the former capital of the German Federal Republic? The Bundesrepublik Deutschland, and during the Cold War period prior to the country's unification in 1990. So there's 2 states, the Deutsche Demokratische Republik, which was of course East Germany, and the Bundesrepublik Deutschland, which was West. But where was the West German capital? Round 6, question 2. What is the longest river in China? The Three Gorges Dam, the largest hydroelectric power station in the world, sits on this river as well. So round 6, question 2. What is the longest river in China? The Three Gorges Dam, the largest hydroelectric power station in the world, sits on this river. You pretty much would have seen this on megastructures or something like. Round 6, question 3. What group of islands were the site of the famous expedition led by Charles Darwin in 1835? So round 6, question 3. What group of islands were the site of a famous expedition led by Charles Darwin in 1883? He postulated that various animals who were growing up in various parts of these various different islands of this chain, and he made observations based on their environment, and obviously came up with the theory of evolution from that. So yes, I'll give you a question on which ship he travelled on. No bonus points for that one, of course, but the islands he visited in 1835. Round 6, question 4. Okay, I have a bit of a problem. This was like the volcano last week, but Utrecht is the most northern city in the United States. In which state is it in? Now, use a little bit of logical reasoning with this. You might not know this, but think about it logically, and you'll get it. There's a list of states there. One will stand out. So, I can't still do this. Utrecht is the most northern city in the United States. In which state is it in? That's round 6, question 4. Round 6, question 5. The Challenger Deep is the deepest known part of the ocean, and it was visited in 2012 by which well-known film director come explorer? So round 6, question 5. The Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the ocean, was visited in 2012 by which well-known film director and explorer? Okay, we're getting some more shoutouts coming in. So Thomas R wanted Marvel Cinematic Universe one. I'll need your help on that. Vicky Locke, she's watching from Swansea. Hopefully not losing too badly. Well, you'll find out at the end. And do stick about. Do stick about for the answers. A lot of people just see the scores and go, and that's it. But you're here to learn as well. So round 6, question 6, final geography one. This is a tricky one now. What is the currency of the EU state of Denmark? Louise Seeley, it's Matt and Louise from Norwich, of course. Good to see you again. Shout outs to Marcus and Jackie and Keith and Ronnie and everyone else from work. Steve and Sarah Laycock, big shout out to my bro in Exmoor, and John and Lindsay in Spain. Paul and Janet near Stoke. Steve in Brook and Biddeford, North Devon. There was someone here who actually messaged from. We've got another one from Graz in Austria. Maine. Rusik, I can't pronounce your name actually. Carol Baskins, of course. We had someone watching in New York. I did see a message there for someone watching in New York. I will find your name and I will give you a shout out properly. But yes, round 6, question 6. What is the currency of Denmark? The EU state of Denmark. I love these things, they're great. Here's your round 6 roundup. What was the former capital of the German Federal Republic during the Cold War? Number 2, what's the longest river in China? Number 3, what group of islands were the famous expedition led by Charles Darwin in 1835? Number 4, Utrecht is the... God, I still can't do that. It's the most northern city in the United States. And which state is it in? The Challenger Deep, number 5, is the deepest known part of the ocean, visited by which film director and explorer? I'll give you a clue. He likes going underwater quite a lot. That'll give you a massive clue. Not Jacques Cousteau, of course. And number 6, what is the currency of Denmark? Okay, again, Andrew Smith here saying, really loving the quizzes. Big say to Florence, Margaret, and to JT. There was someone who did say hello from thing. Here we go. Wow, there's so many. I can't keep up with all of these. It's unbelievable. But like, yeah, by all means, keep sharing your photographs. Use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz. I love seeing your photographs and all on Instagram. I always love responding to everybody. But don't worry, if I don't give you a shout out, I will try to get you one next week, of course. I'm getting inundated with messages here. It's fantastic. So here we go, moving swiftly on. Here's our special round of the week. Round 7 is all about inventions and inventors. So here we go, round 7, question 1. What soft drink was invented in 1886 by a biochemist from Georgia, Dr. John Pemberton? I'm not going to give you a clue with this one. All I'm going to say, it's very, very, very obvious. Okay, round 7, question 2. The iconic Rubik's Cube, a popular puzzle during the 1980s, was invented by architect Erno Rubik. I always thought he was an engineer. But where was he from? So round 7, question 2. The iconic Rubik's Cube, a popular puzzle during the 1980s, was invented by architect Erno Rubik. But where was Rubik from? Sadie Bradbury wants a scout out from Nova Scotia in Canada with Grant and Jeff, an international competition. Nerding out, round 6, question 4, of course. That's Una out in, all the way out in Chicago, Illinois, of course. Cormac's watching from Cork. Fantastic stuff. Mairead Sweeney, there we are. Declan Corrigan and the flatmate Henry are playing out in New York City. And Subi002 is listening, streaming from Colorado. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. Round 7, question 3. Which car manufacturer is considered to be the oldest in the world? Its inventor and part namesake is credited with creating the first gasoline-powered automobile in 1883. It looks like a giant pram, if you think about it. Big giant tricycle. But that was the first car. You're looking at a picture of the first car. But in round 7, question 3, which car manufacturer is considered to be the oldest in the world? Its inventor and part namesake is credited with creating the first gasoline-powered automobile in 1883. Round 7, question 4. It's a legal question, this, but what term is used to describe a license conferring a right or title for a set period, especially the sole right, to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention? These generally last for about 25 years, okay? It's a little bit different from all the other variations of this law, but what term is used to describe a license conferring a right or title for a set period, especially the sole right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention. Now, that might not seem as obvious as you think, but do think, what if you came up with something? If you came up with something like a perpetual motion machine, which will never happen, of course, but if you came up with like a fancy new light bulb or like an electric car, and you wanted to hold the design of it, what would be the first thing you do? Think about Dragon's Den. What do they always ask the people, the crackpot inventors in Dragon's Den? Round 7, question 5. Which UK Prime Minister is often mistakenly credited with the invention of soft serve ice cream? Now, again, I generally always back my facts up with this, but like I said, there's enough evidence out there to say that this is a myth. But yes, round 7, question 5. Which UK Prime Minister is often mistakenly credited with the invention of soft-served ice cream? They did particularly actually work for Lion's Made at one point, but there's no proof of whether they did actually work on that project. There's also a suggestion that they might have invented Soleros, but that's another thing altogether. So that's round 7, question 5. And finally, round 7, question 6. Which English mathematician was considered to be one of the early pioneers of computing, having worked on Charles Babbage's analytical machine in the mid-19th century? I'll give you a clue. This will probably narrow it down a little bit, but she is considered to be one of the first people to write a computer code. And we're talking the 19th century here. We're talking she's using logic and algorithms to make a computer code in the 19th century based on a machine that didn't even exist. So yes, a very, very strong pioneer. Do consider looking her up. She is a very fascinating human being. But yes, round 7, question 6. Here's your roundup for the inventions round. So, the soft drink invented in 1886 by biochemist from Georgia. The iconic Rubik's Cube, where was Mr. Rubik from? Number 3, which car manufacturer is considered to be the oldest in the world? Number 4, the license, the word used to describe a license, conferring a right or title to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention. Which UK Prime Minister is often mistakenly credited with the invention of soft-serve ice cream? And which English mathematician was considered to be one of the early pioneers of computing? We're talking way, way before Turing, but almost 100 years. Fascinating stuff. They actually rebuilt that machine, Charles Babbage's original machine, his analytical machine, and it worked, even though he never built it. Okay, final round of tonight. Thank you so much for everyone for playing, of course. This is your final round of the evening. Like I said, eight rounds, of course. And we're going to go straight into it, of course, before we give out the answers at the end. Arts and literature, of course. Declan McKay, you are an English teacher. You should do well in this. Or I don't know. Hopefully. But here you go. Arts and lit. Here's your first question. So round 8, question 1. What graphic novel by Art Spiegelman was... Which graphic novel by Art Spiegelman was the first to win a Pulitzer Prize in 1992? It's fantastic work. But round 8, question 1. Which graphic novel by Art Spiegelman was the first to win a Pulitzer Prize in 1992? Now, normally the Pulitzer Prize is given out for journalism, for photography, but this particular one was given out for letters, of course, and for any essays or books. And of course, this graphic novel won the Pulitzer Prize that year. Incredible work. Round 8, question 2. The Fighting Temporary, The Fisherman at Sea, and Rain, Steam and Speed are famous works by which 19th century English painter? I'll give you a clue on this one, and I should have put it up here. There's a very famous scene in James Bond Skyfall where he's in the National Gallery in London looking at it. And it's a very famous painting of a warship being towed in to be scrapped. That's The Fighting Temporary. But The Fighting Temporary, Fisherman at Sea, and Rain, Steam and Speed are famous works by which 19th century English painter? Basically, everybody knows too. It's one of them. That's your clue. So round 8, question 3. Which Elizabethan dramatist whose works included Dr. Faustus was stabbed to death in a bar brawl in Deptford in 1593? Big shout out to my Deptford friends. You know who you are. Phil, Hannah, Ollie, Paul, Lloyd and Becca, of course, out in Hitchin now these days, but and George and all the ones who used to live in Deptford around Goldsmiths in London. Yep, But yeah, this happened in 1593, but which Elizabethan dramatist whose work included Dr. Faustus was stabbed to death in a bar brawl in Deptford in 1593? There was a suggestion he could have been an Elizabethan spy as well. But there we go. Round 8, question 4. What is the longest running musical on Broadway? And everybody's thinking, right, everyone knows that the longest running musical in London is Phantom of the Opera. But what's the longest running musical on Broadway in New York? A lot of famous musicals there. I'll give you a clue, it's not Hamilton, because Hamilton's only been out a couple of years, but even though it's very, very popular, it's very good too. Round 8, question 4. What's the longest running musical on Broadway in New York? Round 8, question 5. What is the act of stagecraft in which a person creates the illusion that his or her voice is coming from somewhere else? That might sound really complicated, but again, it isn't. Much like the question I asked a few weeks ago, it's actually a lot easier than you think. So what is the act of stagecraft in which a person creates an illusion that his or her voice is coming from somewhere else? And normally they have a little dummy on them. That's your clue. And your final question for tonight, Big Nerd Pub Quiz number 7 on Saturday, round 8, question 6. The Mysterious Affair at Styles, published in 1920, was the first book by which well-known crime author? And also introduced a very, very, very prominent character with a mustache. Again, it doesn't get any easier than that. I thought this lit round was going to be quite difficult, but yeah, I've given you enough clues to get you through this. So, round 8, question 6. The Mysterious Affair at Styles, published in 1920, is the first book by which well-known crime author? Or the first book to be published, that is. So here we go. There's your roundup for round 8. So, don't forget, once you submit, you will see your scores, but stick about and see the answers after this. So, which graphic novel by Art Spiegelman was the first to win the Pulitzer Prize in 1992? The Fighting Temporary, The Fisherman at Sea, Rain, Steam and Speed are famous works by which 19th century English painter? Number 3, which Elizabethan dramatist whose works included Dr. Faustus was stabbed in a bar in Deptford in 1593? Number 4, what's the longest running musical on Broadway, New York? Number 5, what is the act of stagecraft in which a person creates the illusion that his or her voice is coming from somewhere else? And The Mysterious Affair at Styles, published in 1920, was the first book by which very famous crime author of the 20th century, and the 20s, of course. Okay, that's it for Big Nerd Pub Quiz this evening. Of course, that is your roundup. Take a couple of minutes now to check your answers. If you're not too sure, let me know if you played analog. I really want to know if anyone's actually decided to do this old school pen and paper, no multiple choice. That's the thing. Like, I always think if you see the answers, you've at least got a chance there. It's like almost like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Although I tend to do it 1 out of 10 chance opposed to 1 out of 4. So if you were to randomly do the maths on winning the quiz by sheer luck, it's 48 times 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 every time. Okay. We'll do some more shout outs before. Phil Green, shout out to Big Ray Winston in Malta. The Ray Winston, the West Ham supporting Cockney gangster Ray Winston, from the Shore Road. Okay, he's not the Ray Winston. Dan Lemon from Moira, in Newton Ards. Hello, how's it going? JMW, what are we saying? Oh, no, let's see. Patty and Kate and Patty Boyle do it old school too. They're in their house, of course. Big shout out to them. Let's see. Rachel Louise, we've been tuning in since the second quiz and we love it. Continuing every Wednesday and Saturday when they're not in hospital. Also, don't forget, you don't have to play the quiz live, so you can always share the quiz and you guys can play later. If you want to win tonight, I always do a cutoff point around about 9 o'clock. But like I said, do stick about and we'll do the answers in a bit. A couple of more. Oh, we've got someone making a reference to the Tiger King. I haven't watched that yet. Carol Baskin is watching. Amazing, although she's in Florida. I don't know about that. I actually haven't had the time to watch that show yet. Is it good? Tom Moran says, hi to Sandy. Really looking forward to the Star Trek quiz. He's from Leash, of course. Elaine Duncan, doing a great job. That's all the guys from Lanacher in Glasgow, of course. Aaron Laverty in the Lisburn Road, representing Bravo Tango 9. That's where I used to live myself. Yes, act your postcode, as they say. Teresa Ellen, the Ray and Highland family. We've been watching every quiz since you started. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you. No, honestly, it's an absolute pleasure for me to do this quiz. I love it. It's become a job for me. I came home from London with no work, and this quiz has become such a big part of my life, and I absolutely love it. And it's thanks to guys like you who's supporting me via the Patreon and the PayPal. Thank you so much for all your support. It's been absolutely fantastic. A couple of other ones. Aoife Herity, is that Aoife Herity? Love your pub quiz. We do it every time. Do you mean saying happy birthday to Emma Herity? Cheers. Happy birthday to yourself. Paul Davenport says, cheers to the big quiz pal from Dickie Rugg and Davman in Prudhoe in Northumberland in separate houses. That's pretty cool. I love the way people are actually playing each other on Zoom as well. They're not only just playing in their living rooms on their own. They're actually just vibing off each other. Shout out to Margaret Kanji in Cologne, round the corner. Lovely day today, wasn't it? Absolutely cracking. John Winterfell in the Lake District. Cormac McGee. Shout out to my dad, Jim McGee in Dungannon, of course. Shout out to the Roonies in Ireland, in Weston, Kansas, from Sue in Colorado. And Molly looks so cute. Yes, she is a very, very cute dog. She is a little Ewok. Chris Jenkins, of course. Shout out to Chris and Natasha in South Wales, of course, loving the quiz. And shout out to Paul and Jamie Anthony. And we've got Leo in Birmingham who are watching it. Thanks so much. Okay, so here are your answers. Thanks so much, guys, again. But here are your answers for tonight's quiz. Get your answers submitted in and we'll get through the answers. Wow, I can see now that over 1,000, again, 1,107. The numbers keeping on going up. Wow, 1,121. So over 1,100 people playing tonight. Thank you so much. This is amazing. So here we go. Here's your round one answers for tonight. The Netherlands is the country in which the next Eurovision was meant to happen. Happy 12th birthday to Sarah McBride. Just got that text. Louise obviously saying here, who's this? I don't know who. Somebody just texted me. Okay, so Netherlands is the place where the next Eurovision Song Contest is meant to be happening. Jacinda Ardern is currently the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Modern Family is the TV show that ended this week. Holy Thursday is Monday Thursday, obviously Almsgiving. Charles and Camilla celebrated their 15th wedding anniversary during the week. And Lovely Day by Bill Withers is the one where he holds the note for like 18 seconds. Possibly the longest ever recorded. Round 2, your television. Steve Brookstein was the first winner of the X Factor. Peep Show is the longest running Channel 4 comedy. MASH is the show that got the most viewers, finale that got the most viewers of all time. 1982, I believe. Alan Alda. Yes, bigger than Friends, bigger than Seinfeld. Absolutely huge show. It was like a national event. Melbourne is the city where Neighbours is set, and July the 19th is where the Indians invaded Galway, the Ice Age ended, etc., etc., in Father Ted. And Rudge Park Comprehensive is the school where the Inbetweeners is set. Here's the music round. I'm sure you got 100 out of 100 for this. So round 3, Killer Queen, the first one. Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Uptime Funk by Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson. Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. You're So Vain by Carly Simon. And Jolene by Dolly Parton. She wrote that and I'll Always Love You on the same day. Bear that in mind. She's such a legend. Round 4, question 1. Apollo 13 took off to the moon on its ill-fated journey. This time 50 years ago. And 47 years ago, I think it was, Apple launched its first ever computer. Idi Amin was deposed in 1979 on this day. And happy birthday to Guy Verhofstadt. You know that chap with the glasses and the floppy hair? That's Guy Verhofstadt. It's his birthday today. Gettysburg is the place where the address by Abraham Lincoln took place. And 1997 was when China got Hong Kong back from the British. Round 5, your sports round. Peterborough are known as the Posh. Miracle on Ice is the USA versus the Soviet Union. 50 meters is the length of a standard swimming pool in the Olympics. 7 is the amount of times that Michael Schumacher won the championship in Formula 1. Blue is the traditional colour worn by Italian sports teams. And Princess Anne was the winner of the 1971 BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Round 6 answers. Bonn was the former capital of West Germany. The Yangtze River is the longest in China. Galapagos Islands are the islands visited by Charles Darwin. Alaska, if again losing your logic, is the most northern city. That's where the most northern city. Can't pronounce it. Not going to pronounce it. James Cameron is that crazy director, come explorer, who loves going exploring, and he went all the way down to the Challenger Deep in 2012. And the Corona. Now, it's very, very, very specific with this. The Danish krone, not Corona or Karuna or whatever. It's the Danish krone, and they didn't sign up to the euro. Round 7. The Coca-Cola, of course, was invaded in 1886 by Dr. John Pemberton. Hungary is where Rubik's is from, Erno Rubik. Mercedes-Benz, the clue being the name, of course, Carl Benz designed the first car in the 1880s. Patent is the term used for a license to protect your invention. Margaret Thatcher was considered to be the person who invented soft scoop, although that's not true. And Ada Lovelace was the woman who basically was one of the very first computer programmers. Fascinating stuff. And finally, Mouse was written by Art Spiegelman, was the first ever graphic novel to win the Pulitzer Prize. J.M.W. Turner, obviously, who painted those paintings. Christopher Marlowe was the dramatist who was stabbed in Deptford. Phantom of the Opera. I kind of dropped the clue. I didn't want to give too much of a clue, but Phantom of the Opera is the longest running Broadway musical and the longest running West End musical. So I dropped it in there. I just wanted to see, did anyone pick it up? Ventriloquism is obviously the art of throwing one's voice with a little dummy in the end. And Agatha Christie. Of course. And it was the very first published in 1920, and the first appearance of Hercule Poirot. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's Big Nerd Pub Quiz. I know it's a really tough time for everybody. I know everyone's under all different sorts of stresses with work and with not having work, but I'm happy to be here to help you out and to guide you through this. And like I said, I'm here twice a week with the regular quiz, and we're going to be rolling out the specialty quizzes. Yes, we're going to do a Harry Potter quiz. Yes, we're doing a Game of Thrones quiz. We're doing the Star Wars one. We're doing the Star Trek one. That's coming up on the 13th of April 2020. And of course the Game of Thrones one on the 27th. Thank you so much for tuning in. It really means a lot to me. I love getting your messages. I always try to get to respond to you. I'm sorry if I didn't get to do a shout out for you tonight. I will definitely try to get one next time. Like I said before, try to get it in before the show goes out. The next Big Nerd Pub Quiz, of course, proper, is going to be this Wednesday on the 15th of April at 8 p.m. Of course, as always. Don't forget the Big Nerd Kids Quiz every Tuesday at 2 p.m. The Star Wars quiz coming up on May the 4th. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All the links there, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and the YouTubes. My name has been Mark Hughes. It's just gone past 2 minutes past 9 here in Restrevor, County Down. Do stay safe. Much love to you all. And I'll see you again. I'll see all the Trekkies on Monday. And if not, I'll see all the rest of you guys on Tuesday for the kids quiz if you've got your kids. And everybody else on the Wednesday. Cheers, guys. I will see you soon. Best of luck.